Okay, so today I want to speak about my interests, things I have interest in. For example, I know I have this paper here. I have interest, for example, in sport. I like sport since I was young. Um, I like to play. Like it started with football, and after I started playing basketball, and I lose all the interest for football, but I still have interest for football because it's sport. It make you appreciate the competition, putting yourself out there and compete with people and see how good you are or how bad you are. So, and it prepare you. It's for example, I remember when I used to play basketball. Man, it's competing, and it make you feel good about yourself. Now, like when you lose, like, man, I have to improve. And when you win, yeah, you have to continue to train to be better. So I think that's why sport is so important for me, and also it build like a discipline. I remember when I used to play basketball, like, man, like every day, like if you don't do something, someone gonna do better than you. He gonna play in front of you. So you have to compete. You have to try to outperform your friends and colleagues in a team. And also, it's like I have a lot of interest. Something I always have interest in is like learning, education, school. I really like school. It's not like when I talk about it, oh, I don't like school. It's like I love it. I remember like when I was in school. Sometimes, if I have a subject I really have interest in, a teacher gonna talk about it. I'm gonna go home and search for the subject on Google. I used to do these things. That's probably this is one of the reason I developed the habit of reading and being curious to know things, to search for more things, trying to manage. He's trying to be more interesting person, smart, even though like sometimes I make dumb shit decisions. But I think it's like having like curiosity to learn, and of course you're gonna make mistake, but with the time you have to decide like, look, I'm tired of losing, like, so I have to be smart. I have to start taking good decisions. So now I feel like I'm at this point because I'm a very disinterested person. Sometimes I look like I don't have interest for anything. I just want to live my life. But it's not the case. I have interest. Sometimes I just have my own way of looking at it. But yeah, I have interest for these things. And also it's like another thing I always think about is like this idea of people, oh, I'm boring when I'm working, I'm boring when I'm doing this. And I say, man, this is life, man. I like living life. So for me, I can be here separating like, oh, I have a work, and now I can go out, or now I have to be this person, or I have to be that person. No, this is life, and everything come together. You just have to plan and work with everything. There are no balance here. Like this idea of people coming with the work-life balance, it doesn't. I don't know if this thing exists. That's why you have these highly successful people all the time with their notebook and taking note and organizing everything, because there are no balance. Like sometimes you're gonna have something in agenda, and something gonna come up, and you have to switch everything, and maybe this is why they work really hard to be successful, to the point they don't have to take any bullshit. Like, for example, if I don't want to talk with that person, I'm not going to talk with him because my time is so value. So, yeah, and this take me to another subject. For example, in my life, I always say this to people, money was something I never put my mind into, because I always knew this. I'm going to work and I'm going to make my money regardless. But it doesn't work like that. You have to be strategic in order to make the money you want to live with, because this is the reality. There always going to be someone better than you, richer than you, stronger than you. So you have to decide what kind of life you want and you work for that. So yeah, my thing is like I never worry too much about money. Maybe it's because I come from a place where money never was a problem, and it made me like think everything is easy in life. And this is another thing I always say, like when you grow up, your parents never taught you like how the world gonna be. And sometimes when you go out there and you see things, you panic, you say, whoa, they never taught me this. So now I have to learn things. I have to learn to live with a mask, learn to be pretending, acting, you know. And I don't think that is a bad thing. I used to think it's a bad thing, but now I realize it's not. Like sometimes you have to act. You have to act. You don't have to speak everything that comes to your mind to everyone. Certain people you can, but not all the time. And I'm a person like sometimes I speak my mind. I don't care who you are. And I always say this, just I come from a place where I never have a problem with money, so I'm not gonna sell myself just because you are this. For example, this day I say this just because you give me a job. Don't pretend. Don't be like you have to say tell me everything and I'm gonna listen to you. It doesn't work like that because I don't. I don't take my decision based on money. I don't remember the last time I did that. If I don't like some job, I just move out. But yeah, I have interest on things, and this is why I always decide, man, it's just for me it's impossible, man. Like why I'm gonna wake up, dress, rush to work for someone, and I'm not willing to put the time for me to do the same thing for me. Yes, it's difficult, I know, but it's difficult to work for someone. When they pay you the money, you look at the money and say, whoa, the effort I'm putting here and the things I'm doing is not matching, you know. So I think like again I would say I would say this. The lesson I learned this year is just mind your own business. Don't talk too much. Don't say too much. Don't talk with a lot of people because everyone have perspective, and I think like sometimes your experience make you see the world differently and you want everyone to see the world the way you see it. Wrong. It is one of my faults, and I have to give myself this and say I'm wrong sometimes, and nobody have to think like me. I don't have to think like everyone. So yeah, this is the lesson I'm learning. And again, it's just my interest, for example, is education, money, sport, work, living life. If I can go to party, I'm gonna go to party. If I can be with certain girl, I'm gonna be with a certain girl. But man, it just my time now. It just, man, there are a lot of things I have to think about. Like no time, like, oh shit, I have to think about this girl. I have to think about that girl. Nah, I don't have time for this. And I remember like in 2018, no, 19, it was like, man, it was it was like crazy year because like, man, the only thing you have to think about is like, because I was just working, no study. I didn't study this year, that year. Man, just like work, go out, be with girls. That's it. And I remember I have to call one of my friends and tell him like, look, I don't really like this because it's like you're trying to compensate something inside of you. And I think like 2020 just come up and it saved my life. It saved my life because since then my mind is not like, oh, girls. Yeah, you can go out sometimes, but I have things to do. And as I say, money never was something I have in my mind. But after 6 years working, it come time for me to realize, for example, the idea of two of the most important people I admire in the world about entrepreneurship, like Larry Ellison and Sarah Blakely. They are the two people I admire the most, and all of them both of them started a business like when they was like Sarah Blakely was like 29, and Larry Ellison was like 37, 38 when he started his business. Man, again, I would say this: there are no problem working for someone before you do your own thing. There are no problem with that. And sometimes, like, I think the idea of like I don't want to work for anyone, it just, I don't know, I can say like ego, but naivete, because it's really hard. Believe me, man. It's just you're gonna be there working, and everyone is like party, having fun, and also it's like in front of you because you can go on your Instagram. You're gonna see your friends having fun, Insta story all the time. So how you can manage those kind of formal. You don't want to miss anything, but sometimes you just have to look and you say, look, I'm different. This is how I choose to live my life, and I don't care what's going on there, and you just live. But I think like your interest can help you level up. Your interest can help you do better. And for me, just I think like these days, for example, the internet can help you a lot with that. If you know something really well and you know how to put it together, you can make a lot of money. Like, yeah, and it's nothing like a scam, because my idea is just to build something about language learning and content creation, and put everything together and start doing my own thing. And as I say, when I come here, I give myself 5 years, man, 5 years to do something. And sometimes I have to I'm gonna look myself and think like I'm not doing well, but you just think, man, there are people who live here for 10 years, never did anything. So in 3 years, I have my camera, doing photography, investing my own money on that. And the next 2 years, yeah, everything is possible. As I always say, like, everything is boring. Oh no, every job is boring, but when you put purpose behind it, everything is possible. So I never see any job as boring things, because I always say this: I work in every place I work as is mine, because I want to be there. If I don't want to be here, I'm not gonna be here, because it's not the money who brought me there. It's just learning experience. And something I never had is like knowing the psychology behind things. Man, when you work in a different kind of place, you start noticing patterns of people, how people behave, how people do things. And nobody teach you these things. As I say, I'm so naive sometimes. People gonna say something, I say, oh shit, oh really? But someone is pushing you to do something, and you're gonna mess your life, So yeah, you have to be smart, know how to read people, know how to interact with the people. Man, this thing is life, man. Nobody teach you this in school. Real life can transform you if you know how to read the environment you are in. So yeah, so I think like this is like how do you say it in English? I don't know now. 11 videos, like, how do you say it? 11º in Portuguese? How do you say it in English? I don't know how to say it. So I have to search for this when I finish this video. But yeah, today I just want to speak about this. And also it's like, this is so interesting because like, it looks like I'm so close when I speak with camera. But man, you just get used to it. And with the time, I'm gonna get it. Yeah, for sure. Boom. So for today, this is the video about my interests, the things I like, things I want to work around. Yeah, make money. Now it's a guy I follow on Instagram, like a Brandon Carter, talk about money all the time, just money. Yeah. So I just want to make this video today and talk with the camera. 30 days challenge. Okay, see you guys tomorrow.